The sky over the small Oregon town was heavy and gray, but the air was warm. At the edge of the highway, a tired blue sedan rolled into a worn gas station. Jennifer pulled the car up beside the pump and turned off the engine. The fuel light had been glowing for miles. In the back seat, her 7-year-old son pressed his face to the window. His name was Marcus. His eyes were wide, curious, always searching. "Mom, can I get a snack?" Jennifer looked at him in the rearview mirror. Her brown hair was pulled into a loose bun. Shadows sat under her eyes from too many night shifts at the hospital. "Not today, honey. We have crackers at home." Marcus nodded, but his gaze returned to the world outside. He knew they did not have extra money. He also knew his mother hated saying no. Jennifer stepped out and began to pump gas. Wind carried the smell of rain and gasoline across the lot. That was when the roar of engines broke the dull quiet of the afternoon. 5 motorcycles turned off the highway and pulled into the far corner of the station. Chrome flashed under the pale light. The riders wore black leather vests with large patches on the back. Hell's Angels. Marcus had seen pictures of them on television. To him, they looked like knights from another time, only louder and covered in tattoos. "Stay in the car." Marcus Jennifer spoke through the half-open window. Her tone was calm but firm. She had heard stories about the club. She did not want trouble. Marcus meant to obey, but something outside the car caught his attention. A man in a dark hoodie moved between the parked motorcycles. He was thin, nervous, always looking over his shoulder. He crouched beside the first bike and pulled a small tool from his pocket. Marcus frowned. The man reached under the motorcycle, near the wheel. His hand moved quickly, as if cutting or twisting something. Then he walked to the second bike and did the same thing again. Marcus remembered a story from a week before. His mom's friend Dave, a mechanic, had come over for coffee. Dave had talked about a customer whose brake line had been cut. The car had crashed. The driver almost died. "Brake lines," Dave had said. "If someone cuts them, you do not stop." Marcus watched the man work on the third motorcycle. The boy's heart began to race. The tool caught the light in a quick flash. It looked sharp. "Mom always says to speak up when something is wrong," he thought. He imagined the bikers leaving the gas station, engines roaring, tires spinning on wet pavement. He imagined them trying to stop and nothing happening. His chest felt tight. Without thinking, Marcus unbuckled his seatbelt. He opened the car door and jumped out. Marcus Jennifer's voice cracked through the air. "Stay in the car." But he was already running. His small sneakers slapped the cracked concrete as he sprinted across the lot. The bikers had dismounted. They stood in a loose circle, laughing and talking near the door of the mini-mart. Marcus filled his lungs with air. "Do not start your bikes." His voice came out high and urgent. "Please, do not start your bikes." The laughter stopped at once. 5 hard faces turned toward the sound. They saw a little boy in a faded green shirt, running at them with wild eyes. Behind him, Jennifer dropped the gas pump and began to chase after her son. Marcus reached the nearest biker. The man was huge, with a thick gray beard braided into 2 ropes and arms covered in old ink. He looked like a wall in leather. "Kid, what are you doing out here?" The biker's tone was rough, but not cruel. Marcus pointed with a shaking hand. "There is a bad man over there. He was under your bikes. He had a tool. I think he cut something." The bearded biker followed Marcus's finger. By the row of motorcycles, the hooded man had frozen. His face had gone pale. He stepped back once, then again. Another biker narrowed his eyes. "Jake, go check the bikes. Chase, watch that guy." The words came from the bearded man, sharp and clear. One rider ran toward the motorcycles. Another moved toward the stranger in the hoodie. Jennifer reached Marcus and pulled him to her side. "I am so sorry I told him to stay in the car." Marcus clung to her hand, but he would not look away from the bikes. He was cutting under them, Mom. Near the wheels. Like when Dave talked about the brake lines. The biker named Jake knelt beside the first motorcycle. His fingers moved along the black hose near the wheel, his jaw clenched. "Check all of them." The bearded man's eyes hardened. His gaze returned to Marcus, and for a moment the boy felt very small. Then something changed in the man's face. The anger slid away, leaving only respect and a hint of fear at what might have happened. "What is your name, kid?" The parking lot grew quiet as Jake finished checking the last motorcycle. He wiped his hand on his vest and walked back toward the group. His voice was flat, steady, and heavy. "3 bikes have cut brake lines. Clean cuts. Someone wanted us to crash." The words hung in the air like smoke. Jennifer's grip tightened around Marcus. She felt his small fingers trembling. The bearded biker looked at Marcus again. His voice softened. "You saw all this. You warned us." Marcus nodded. "I did not want anyone hurt." The biker crouched, so his eyes were level with the boy's face. "You saved lives. That is a brave thing to do." Jennifer swallowed hard. "We should leave. We do not want trouble. I do not want him near danger." Before she could step away, another biker returned from chasing the hooded man. He was tall and lean, with sharp eyes and a long scar across his jaw. He got into a car and took off, but I saw his face, and I got the license plate. The bearded biker nodded and turned to Jennifer. "I am Bear. This is Cole. We will make sure you and your son are safe." Jennifer hesitated. She did not know these men. Their reputation lingered in her mind like a warning. "We are fine. We just want to go home." But Bear shook his head. His tone was serious. "Your son is a witness. People who do this kind of thing do not like witnesses. We cannot let you leave until we know the area is clear." Jennifer felt her pulse quicken. She looked around the lot, suddenly aware of every movement. Her tired life had never prepared her for moments like this. Cole stepped closer, his voice calm and controlled. "Please stay a few minutes. Let us call the police. Let us do this the right way." Marcus tugged on Jennifer's sleeve. "Mom, they are trying to help." Jennifer looked into her son's face. He was scared, but he was also steady. "All right, we will stay until the police arrive." Bear nodded once and stepped aside to make a call. The police cruiser arrived quickly. Officer Davidson stepped out, his face lined with years of long shifts. He knew Bear. He knew the club. "Tell me what happened." Marcus spoke carefully, describing everything he had seen. The officer listened with full attention, never interrupting. When the boy finished, Davidson nodded. "You did the right thing. You may have saved these men and anyone else on the road." As the officer walked back to his cruiser, Jennifer took a slow breath. She felt the weight of exhaustion settle on her shoulders. "Can we go now?" Bear exchanged a look with Cole. Both men had the same tight expression. "Ma'am, the man who did this ran. He knows we saw him. He might have seen you too." Jennifer's stomach sank. "What does that mean?" Cole answered gently. "It means you should not go home yet. You need a safe place, just for a little while." Jennifer shook her head. "I have work. I have bills I cannot hide. I do not have time for trouble." Bear's voice lowered. "We owe you. Your son saved us. Let us repay it." Marcus looked between the men and his mother. "Mom, I am scared." Jennifer's heart cracked. She could face hardship alone. She could not face danger with Marcus beside her. Where would we go? Cole pulled a small card from his vest pocket. "We have a safe house. It is clean. It is quiet. You will be protected until the police finish their work." Jennifer held the card with shaking fingers. It felt heavier than paper should feel. "How long? A few days, maybe less, just until we know the man cannot harm you." Bear stepped closer, but his voice was warm. "You are not alone. Not now." Jennifer looked down at Marcus. His eyes held fear and trust at the same time. "We will go." The decision slipped out quietly, but it was final. Bear nodded and motioned for the others. We ride slow. You follow behind us. Jennifer walked Marcus back to the car. Her hands trembled as she buckled him in. She sat behind the wheel and watched the bikers mount their motorcycles. Engines rumbled softly, controlled. Not loud, not reckless, respectful. Cole approached her window. We will get you there safely. Stay close behind me. Jennifer nodded. Thank you. As the convoy pulled onto the road, Marcus leaned forward in his seat. Mom, are we going to be okay? Jennifer looked at him through the mirror. Her voice was quiet, but firm. Yes, we will be okay. We have help now. Outside, the motorcycles moved in a steady formation, leading them toward the unknown, toward safety, toward a new chapter she never expected. The road stretched ahead under the gray sky as the small car followed the powerful bikes. The fear remained, but for the first time in a long while, Jennifer did not feel alone. The convoy moved through the quiet Portland streets. Jennifer followed closely behind the motorcycles, her hands tight on the steering wheel. Marcus sat forward in his seat, his eyes fixed on the riders ahead. Mom, are they really helping us? Yes, they are keeping us safe for now. Jennifer tried to sound calm, though her heart had not settled since the parking lot. She kept replaying the moment Marcus had run from the car. The fear in her chest had been sharp. The thought of losing him still made her breath catch. After 20 minutes, the bikers slowed and turned into a quiet neighborhood. Small homes lined both sides of the street. Yards were fenced. Trees rustled in the wind. Cole stopped in front of a small white house with a deep porch and a narrow driveway. The paint was old but cared for. The windows were clean. It looked like a place where nothing bad ever happened. Bear parked beside Cole and removed his helmet. He walked toward Jennifer as she stepped out of the car. This is the safe house. You and Marcus can stay here until the police clear everything. Jennifer looked around, uncertain. Does someone live here? Bear shook his head. The club owns it. We use it when someone needs a place to stay. It is quiet and secure. Marcus climbed out of the back seat and looked up at the house. Do we get to stay inside? Cole nodded. Yes, come on. Let us show you around. They unlocked the front door and stepped together into the dim living room. The air smelled like pine cleaner. The furniture was simple but comfortable. A small couch, a coffee table, 2 framed pictures of mountains on the wall. Jennifer took a slow breath. It felt safe in a way that surprised her. There are 2 bedrooms down the hall. Kitchen is stocked. Bathroom is clean. Everything you need is here. Cole's voice was steady, giving her space to breathe. We will have someone outside at all times. No one gets near this place without us knowing. Jennifer nodded, though it was a lot to take in at once. I appreciate this. I really do. Bear looked at Marcus. Kid, you good. Marcus nodded. Can I see my room? Sure, go pick one. The boy ran down the hall, his shoes tapping on the wooden floor. Jennifer watched him run. For a moment she felt the ache of their old apartment. The small space, the broken heater, the thin walls. This place felt like a different world. Cole leaned against the doorway. You did the right thing today. You protected your son when it mattered. Jennifer let out a tired laugh. It feels like everything fell apart. Bear shook his head. No. Someone tried to do something terrible. Your son stopped it. Now we clean up the rest. Jennifer's eyes softened. Is it really that dangerous? Bear answered honestly. Maybe, maybe not. We cannot take chances when it comes to people who cut brake lines. There was a long silence. Jennifer wrapped her arms around herself. I feel like I am drowning. My husband died 3 years ago. I work 2 shifts. I try to keep Marcus safe. I try to keep up. And now, this Cole stepped forward. You are not alone now. Not with this, not with anything that comes next. Jennifer blinked back, a sudden sting in her eyes. Why help us this much? You do not owe us anything. Bear's expression softened. We help because your son helped us. That makes you part of our circle, and we take care of the people inside it. Cole's phone buzzed. He checked the screen, his eyes narrowing. What is it? The car the suspect used. Stolen 2 hours before the attack. They found it abandoned near the river. Jennifer felt a cold wave move through her. Is he still looking for us? We do not know. That is why you are here. Marcus ran back into the living room, holding a blanket he had found on the bed. Mom, this room is nice. Can we stay here tonight? Jennifer knelt and brushed his hair from his forehead. Yes, we are staying here for a while, just until everything is safe. Bear walked toward the door. Dutch is taking first watch. He will be outside if you need anything. Call Cole. He is the one you talk to. Cole handed Jennifer his card again. Do not hesitate. Day or night. Call if something feels wrong. Jennifer nodded. Her chest ached from the weight of everything. Thank you, really thank you both. Bear stepped out onto the porch. Lock the doors. Try to rest. You are safe here. Cole followed him out. For a moment, Jennifer stood in the doorway and watched the two men walk toward their motorcycles. Their silhouettes were strong, steady, almost reassuring. The engines rumbled softly as they started them. Then the bikes rolled down the street, leaving Jennifer and Marcus alone in the quiet house. The silence felt heavy at first. Then it settled into something calmer, something almost peaceful. Marcus sat on the couch and pulled the blanket around him. Mom, are we really safe? Jennifer sat beside him and wrapped an arm around his shoulders. Yes, we are safe tonight. Outside, Dutch sat on his motorcycle near the curb, watching the house with quiet patience. His presence was silent but strong, a reminder that they were not alone. Inside the house, Jennifer closed the curtains and locked the doors. For the first time in a long time, she allowed herself to breathe without fear. The day had been terrifying, but something new was beginning. Something neither of them could yet understand. Night settled over the small Portland neighborhood. The safe house was quiet except for the soft creak of branches outside. Jennifer tucked Marcus into the bed he had chosen and sat beside him for a moment. Mom, do you think the bad man will come here? No. We are protected. Go to sleep. I am right here. Marcus nodded and closed his eyes. His breathing steadied. Within minutes he was asleep, curled under the old quilt. Jennifer waited until she knew he was resting, then slipped out of the room and closed the door gently. She walked into the small living room and sat on the couch. Her hands were still shaking. She looked toward the window. Outside, Dutch sat on his motorcycle beneath the streetlight. His presence brought a strange kind of comfort. It felt like standing under a strong roof during a storm. Jennifer pulled out her phone. She had only a few messages from work, nothing urgent. She set the phone aside and leaned back, exhaustion washing over her. She did not remember falling asleep. A sudden knock at the door made her jolt upright. Her heart jumped. She took a breath and approached slowly. Jennifer, it is Cole. You can open the door. His voice through the wood was steady and calm. She unlocked the door. Cole stepped inside. Rain dotted his jacket. His eyes scanned the room, then softened when he saw her face. Everything all right? Yes, I just fell asleep by accident. You scared me. Sorry. We needed to check on you. We found something tonight. Jennifer tensed. Is it about the man? Did he find us? Cole shook his head. No, but we found out who hired him, and it is worse than we expected. Jennifer swallowed. Who a rival club? They wanted to start trouble by hurting our riders. They did not expect a witness. Now they are trying to cover their tracks. Jennifer felt the room tilt slightly. What does that mean for us? Cole stepped closer, lowering his voice. It means we have to be extra careful. You are safe here, but we need to stay alert. Another knock sounded, this one lighter. Dutch stepped inside. We caught someone near the end of the block. Young kid. Not dangerous, probably sent to watch the house. Jennifer felt cold fear crawl up her spine. He saw the house. He knows we are here. Cole shook his head. He did not get close. We stopped him in time. He talked. He told us who sent him. Jennifer wrapped her arms around herself. What do we do now? Cole's tone became firm. We make you visible. People who want to harm a secret will not harm someone public. We tell your story. We do it professionally. Through the news, police agree. Jennifer blinked. You want me on the news? Yes, you and Marcus. It protects you. It makes it harder for anyone to touch you. Jennifer looked toward the hallway where her son slept. He is a child. He cannot be dragged into something like this. Cole spoke gently. He already is, but we will do it in a way that keeps him safe. Jennifer sat down slowly. I do not know if I can do that. Bear entered through the open door. His heavy boots were silent on the floor. He removed his gloves and spoke softly. Ma'am, your boy did something brave today. Now we must do something brave for him. Jennifer felt her throat tighten. What if it makes things worse? It will not. It will make things clearer, and it will corner the people who tried to harm us. Jennifer exhaled shakily. If I do this, will you protect Marcus during the interview? Cole nodded. We will be beside you the entire time. Jennifer closed her eyes. She pictured Marcus running across the parking lot, his small voice crying out to stop the bikes, his courage. She opened her eyes again. All right, I will do it. Bear nodded once. Good. We talk to the reporter tomorrow. Tonight you rest. Jennifer walked to the window. The street looked calm again. Dutch returned to his watch. Cole stayed in the living room while Bear checked the doors. Jennifer whispered to herself, let this end soon. She turned and walked back to the bedroom where Marcus slept peacefully. She kissed his forehead and lay down beside him. She held his small hand and hoped for morning. Outside, motorcycles patrolled the block, engines low, eyes sharp, watching for danger, protecting the fragile peace inside the house. Jennifer slept lightly. The fear never fully left, but she felt something new under it, a strange, growing sense of safety, a sense that she was no longer drowning alone. Morning arrived with a pale light spreading across the quiet neighborhood. Jennifer opened her eyes before Marcus woke and listened to the soft stillness inside the safe house. For a moment she almost forgot where she was. Then the memories of the gas station returned. The hooded man, the cut brake lines, the fear, the bikers stepping between her and danger. Marcus stirred beside her, rubbing his eyes. Mom, is today the interview? Yes. We will talk to the reporter, then we will come back here, everything will be all right. Marcus nodded slowly. He trusted her completely. That trust weighed heavily on her heart. Jennifer helped him get dressed. She brushed his hair gently and tried to smile. You look handsome, ready to be brave. His small voice answered softly. I will try. They walked into the living room where Cole waited. He had already made coffee and placed 2 plates of toast on the table. Morning. Eat something before we go. You will need your strength. Jennifer picked up a cup. Her hands were steadier today. Thank you. You did not have to do all this. Cole looked at her with a steady calm. We take care of our own. You and your son are not alone. Bear arrived a few minutes later. Reporter will meet us at the station. We will escort you both. No one gets near you. Jennifer nodded. All right, let us do it. They stepped outside. The air was cool and damp. 2 motorcycles waited at the curb with Dutch and Chase ready to ride. The engines were quiet. The men were alert. Marcus stayed close to Jennifer as they walked toward the car. Mom, will people be mad that I talk on the news? No, people will be glad you are helping keep everyone safe. The boy took a breath and climbed into the back seat. Cole drove ahead. Bear followed behind. 2 more bikers rode on each side, forming a protective shield around the small sedan. The police station was busy when they arrived. Reporters waited near the entrance. The captain himself met them inside. Thank you for coming. We will keep this controlled. Rachel Kim will handle the interview. She is professional. She will treat you with respect. Jennifer nodded and squeezed Marcus's hand. Rachel approached with a soft smile. You must be Marcus. I heard you did something very brave. Marcus looked down shyly. I just said what I saw. That is exactly what heroes do. Tell the truth when it matters. The interview took place in a quiet corner of the station. 2 chairs were set up with a camera facing them. Bear and Cole stood just outside the frame, watching closely. Rachel began gently. Jennifer, tell us what happened yesterday. Jennifer spoke carefully. She told the story from the beginning, how she and Marcus were at the gas station, how he saw a man cutting something under the bikes, how he ran to warn the riders, how it saved lives. Then Rachel turned to Marcus. What made you speak up? Were you scared? Marcus swung his feet lightly and answered with honesty. I was scared, but Mom says if something is wrong, you tell someone, so I ran to tell them I did not want them to get hurt. Rachel looked moved. You did something brave and important. You protected people you did not even know. Marcus nodded, because it was the right thing. The interview ended with soft applause from the officers nearby. Rachel bent down and spoke quietly to Marcus. You are a special kid. Never forget that Jennifer thanked her. Cole and Bear escorted them out of the building. As they walked through the parking lot, Jennifer's phone buzzed. A new message appeared on the screen. Big mistake. You should have stayed quiet. Jennifer felt her chest tighten. She immediately handed the phone to Cole. He studied the message with cold focus. Good. We got him. This is evidence. Every threat he sends brings him closer to prison. Bear looked at Jennifer. You did the right thing. Now the system can act. Jennifer nodded slowly. The fear was still there, but so was a rising strength she had not felt in years. They returned to the safe house by early afternoon. The air felt lighter than before. Marcus ran to the small backyard and sat on the old swing. Cole followed him and gave the chain a gentle push. Mom, look, I can go higher now. Jennifer smiled from the porch. Be careful not too high. Cole glanced at her. He is a good kid. Smart, brave. A lot like his mother. Jennifer lowered her gaze. I was terrified yesterday. I still am. Cole sat on the edge of the porch. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is what you do with it. Jennifer sat beside him. For a moment, they simply watched Marcus swing. His laughter drifted through the yard, a soft reminder of innocence fighting to survive. Jennifer whispered, When will this end? Soon. We are close. The man who hired the attack is under pressure. Police are watching him. He knows he cannot get near you. Jennifer's shoulders eased. Thank you for all of this, for everything. Cole turned toward her. You do not need to thank us. We do this because it is right, and because your boy saved people who matter to us. Jennifer looked at Marcus, swinging, laughing alive. Part of her finally exhaled. Part of her believed things might truly get better. She stood and called out, Marcus, come inside. We need to eat. He hopped off the swing and ran toward her with bright eyes. Mom, do you think Dad would be proud of me? Jennifer felt her throat close for a second. Yes, he would be very proud. So am I. Marcus hugged her tightly. I am glad we are here. I feel safe. Jennifer held him close. Me too. We are safe. We will stay safe. But neither of them knew that the most unexpected turn of their story was still ahead. 6 months passed like a long breath easing into calm. The safe house was no longer a place of fear. It had become a home. Jennifer stood in the backyard on a warm afternoon, watching the grass bend gently under the breeze. Flowers she had planted bloomed along the fence. Bright colors filled the garden. Life finally felt steady. Marcus ran across the yard with a wooden plane in his hand. Cole followed close behind, pretending he could not catch him. "Mom, look, it flies higher now." Jennifer smiled. "That is because you worked on it. You take care of things." Marcus grinned and ran off again. Cole walked toward Jennifer with a quiet smile. He is getting stronger, more confident every day. Jennifer nodded. He feels safe. That changed everything. Cole stood beside her, hands in his pockets. "You changed too. You smile more. You breathe easier." Jennifer let out a soft laugh. "It has been a long time since I felt like myself, maybe longer than I want to admit." Bear stepped into the yard carrying a box filled with donated toys. The club was preparing for their yearly community event. Children from all over the neighborhood would arrive soon. There she is, the woman who runs our whole operation. Jennifer shook her head. "I just organize things. You all do the hard work." Bear chuckled. "No, you brought order to this chaos. You gave the club something we did not know we needed." Jennifer carried the box toward the porch. She placed it beside others stacked neatly. The safe house had become more than a shelter. It became a meeting place, a place where the club held its toy drives, food handouts, and community support events. Neighbors who once looked at the bikers with fear now greeted them with trust. Jennifer watched the motorcycles rolling in. Their engines were steady and warm, not threatening anymore. They sounded like family arriving. Marcus ran back to her and tugged on her shirt. "Mom, can I help set the tables?" "Yes. Go with Dutch. He needs help carrying the napkins." Marcus ran toward Dutch, who lifted him onto his shoulders with ease. Cole watched them with a soft expression. He is lucky he has so many people looking out for him now. Jennifer nodded slowly. "And I am lucky too." Cole turned to her. "You know you do not have to go back to the old apartment the club voted. You can stay in this house as long as you want." Jennifer's breath caught. "I do not know how to accept something like that." Cole spoke gently. "Accept it because you deserve it. You have worked so hard. You built a life here. This place feels like yours. You made it warm. You made it human." Jennifer looked at the flowers, the fixed swing set, the painted fence. This house held laughter now. It held safety. It held peace. She whispered. "Thank you." Bear walked over, wiping sweat from his forehead. "We also talked to the lawyer. Your medical bills from your husband's accident, most of them are gone, negotiated reduced, some covered by donations." Jennifer felt her knees weaken. "Are you serious?" Bear nodded. "We told the lawyer you were family. He made it his priority." Jennifer covered her mouth with her hand. Tears filled her eyes. "I do not know how to repay any of you." Cole stepped closer and spoke quietly. "You repaid us the moment Marcus warned us. Without him, without you, some of us would not be here. This is not charity. This is gratitude." Jennifer wiped her eyes and stood straighter. "Then let me keep helping. Let me keep building this place. I want to stay." Cole smiled. "Good. We hoped you would say that." The yard filled with children from the neighborhood. Families arrived for the toy drive. Marcus helped hand out gifts. His small voice carried across the yard, bright and proud. "Mom, come look. Everyone is here." Jennifer walked to him and knelt beside him. "You did all this. Your bravery started it. You changed more lives than you know." Marcus hugged her tightly. "I just told the truth." Jennifer held him, her heart full. Bear walked up with a soft smile. Sometimes the smallest voices make the biggest difference. Jennifer looked around. She saw motorcycles lined like guardians. She saw Cole laughing with a group of kids. She saw Dutch helping a family with groceries. She saw a community stronger than ever. She whispered to herself. We found family in the most unexpected place. As the sun set, orange light settled over the yard. The engines of a few bikes rumbled in the distance. That sound once frightened her. Now it meant home. Jennifer stood on the porch, watching Marcus play. She felt whole again. She felt safe. She felt seen. Cole stepped beside her and rested a gentle hand on her shoulder. Everything turned out better than any of us expected. Sometimes life gives back what it once took. Jennifer nodded slowly. Sometimes it gives even more. Her heart settled into a peaceful rhythm she had not known in years. She had lost so much, but she had gained something rare, a new start, a new family, a new home, and all because a 7-year-old boy had the courage to shout one simple warning: do not start your bikes.